What is up, you guys? Hold on, wait. What is up, you guys? It's the Fallout What If here, and today I'm going to do the video. What if Issei? Well, what if he was? What if he had Rage Gear Part 3? Now, what had happened was my audio kind of messed up. That's why you saw part 1 and part 2. I gotcha. Don't worry, I still have to do the videos, and we were at work and, you know, trying to get another job soon. At least one where I work in the nights and then I do my videos at the day and I can upload them. Hopefully I get a computer. I'm trying to get a monitor here. Just trying to get a monitor, trying to save up enough money to get a monitor so that way I can at least do some editing, some actual editing here. But I will be using the videos that I did, or at least somebody actually helped me out. Actually did the videos. Loki Uchiha. Not only that, hopefully I get a thumbnail soon for this. Just to speed things up. But anyway, this is going to be part 3. So what if Issei had Rage Gear? Now, what had happened was Issei, after all this time, he has gone and, well, pretty much lived his life as a normal person. Now he's going to high school. Now people see him as this, looking like, he looks more refined in a way. He wears simple clothing, but that simple clothing makes him look better in a way. See, Issei doesn't have money, a lot of money, so what he does is he does a part-time job, and his part-time job actually is, you know what? You know, like Konako always has some sweets with her. She always eats some like chocolate or some kind of candy. You know, I think I have an idea. Issei works at the freaking place where they provide sweets and all that stuff. They provide sweets and many more stuff, and that's where Issei works at, and that's how Konako follows him during his time, you know, doing his well, he does his job, and that's how he gets clothing. But because of where he works as well, it's close to an apartment building where he gets to actually, you know, he pays money, and not only that, he has his rent. So that's also another thing that's positive. So after working there for a while, he's pretty much gotten used to life, and he's always wondering about, well, where's his parents? You know, why was he orphaned? Because if you guys don't remember, in the beginning, he lost his parents to, I believe, Kakebio, or Kokobio. I call him Kakebio, but his name is Kokobio, but people say Kakebio. And not only that, some people in my video, people I talk to who does anime, who watches anime, says Kakebio, so I'm kind of messed up in the head with that, but either way, Issei, once he lost his memory, he lost his memory of his parents. Alright? He lost his memory so much so that he doesn't even remember. Well, technically, he doesn't remember Ravel, actually. And not only that, he doesn't even remember, you know, what his strengths and his weaknesses are, but he knows he has them. Because one time when having to fight with with a customer who got a little too, you know, he drank a lot, he was being a drunk, but once he grabbed one of his co-workers, Issei immediately stepped in, not knowing what he had just done. That moment got his memory jogging to what his physical capabilities were. Okay, sorry if I'm breathing too heavy. I was at work, so I usually inhale some like chemicals, so my voice is messed up. Not messed up, but I can't breathe easily. So I might have to get something for that, like a mask or, like a pump to keep me breathing. Anyway, so so basically going on instinct, and somehow his mind remembering what he can do, but not to its full extent. But he knows that he can do it if he just calms down and let it do its magic. So while this guy is trying to swing at him, Issei is just pretty much avoiding his attacks. Not only that, with him being so flexible, he doesn't get damaged at all. For most of the fight, he pretty much, well, all he does is just dodge him and just avoid his attacks. He's very agile and very flexible, causing the man who's trying to kill him, or not kill him, but hurt him, getting more enraged. So, when Issei notices that guy sees the girl try to call the police, well, basically Issei just flips out and just tackles him to the ground, causing the guy to actually stumble, grab his beer, slam his bottle onto Issei's head, causing him to bleed. But Issei somewhat is just like, what's the word? He's just scared, but his mind is just doing the rest. So when he closes his eyes, basically the guy tries to stab him with the broken bottle, but Issei kicks the guy in the shin, causing him to basically not break it, but somewhat almost break it. While the guy's stumbling, Issei basically ducked, and the guy flipped over Issei, causing him to hit his head on something and causing him to fall on the floor. Issei, not knowing what he just did, was scared, and he basically said, "Call the police and just clock me out." And Issei's just running. Issei is literally running away. Now, this customer here is not normal. We'll just say that. But she's a blonde-haired girl with the heart of gold. And not only that, has a crush on Issei. So don't worry. It's not freaking, what is it called? It's not freaking Ravel or any of them. It's actually someone who I saw on a fandom, but I think she's in the manga, so I do not know. But either way, Issei just starts running, and pretty much he has to be very aware of his surroundings. He looks around him at times. He sometimes flinches when somebody drops something or he hears a little bit of loud screaming. The thing is, Issei is he's more of a pushover. If I didn't state it once, I'll state it. If I didn't state it in my other two videos, I'll state it now. He is very much of a pushover. So much so, he's kind of like Zenitsu. He is literally the embodiment of Zenitsu, just like scared of everything, because somewhat he is some brave, but he's also just a coward. He doesn't have his true strength and true anger, or the feeling of being like in charge. So that's when he's just, he's scared. But after the next couple of weeks, and turning to the next year, Issei has been working there so much so that he's talking to the girl, and the girl is called Gabby. Now, Gabby and him are, really good friends. Issei actually enjoys her company. Not knowing what's going to happen, soon Issei says, "Hopefully we talk again." And he's pretty much, cheery. Until probably a week goes on, Issei actually meets a girl known as Yuna Amano. Or, as you may have recalled, Lady Rainier. Now, when he meets Yuna, Yuna actually looks at her. He looks at Yuna, and well, Yuna looks says, "Oh hi, how are you doing?" And looks at Issei. Issei actually, kind of like scared at first, but says, "I'm Issei Hyoto. Nice to meet you." Or no, he says he's Issei. He doesn't actually have a last name. Well, nothing that he knows of, because nobody actually remembered who he was, and nobody knows who his family was at all. That's kind of sad, but that's true. Now, Yuna basically says, "My name is Yuna Amano." Basically going on in the canon series with some minor twists. So get ready, and we get to the point where Issei, is going out with Yuna. Because Yuna actually, said, "I want to be your boyfriend." Issei not understanding, but in the end, somewhat just saying, "All right, I'll probably, accept it." Because he sees that this girl just tried her best to tell her how she feels. And Yuna, or Rainier, basically does the whole thing as the date. But instead of, trying to go out with her, or, trying to, sorry about that. Instead of her trying to tell Issei, let's kiss and all that stuff, she basically goes with the whole, "Will you die for me?" And she kind of was going to say that, but she skipped it off a couple of words, and she basically, "Will you live for me?" So Yuna basically cracked under pressure because she saw how nice Yuna truly was to her. She saw, he saw that, she saw that, I'm sorry about that. She saw how nice he was to her. Golly, I'm such an idiot. I might cut the, no, I'm just gonna keep that in there, because that's actually kind of dumb of me. That's kind of funny. But no, he actually tells her, I respect how you feel. And not only that, I'm not going to die for nothing. I'm not going to just die because that's dumb. Rainier saying that that's not what she was going to say, but she was trying to say about, "Will you die for me?" But she couldn't. Something about his kind nature, the kindness within him, somewhat makes her at first dislike it, but when getting close to Issei, she can actually see a hint of his aura, a hint of it. And then when Issei started to have these like memories, like just flash for a couple of seconds, she saw how powerful it was, how dense it was. Basically, think of it as swimming in water, all right? You swim in water, and it goes on well. But after that, when you swim in oil, or what is the word here? If you try to swim in pudding, vanilla, chocolate, pumpkin spice, it doesn't matter. Like, it was like swimming in a dense liquid. So it was to the point to where she thought that it was gonna probably like stay on her the whole time. And not only that, a couple of other people sensed it along the way. But when Issei felt this, like, he felt this himself, and he was like, "Probably I just have a headache." So that's when Rainier was like, "I'm not gonna kill him." Not only does he look he does look cute. He is very nice to her, but he's super powerful. Or at least that's what she felt at that exact moment. That's when Rainier was like, "I'm not gonna, I gotta go," and all that stuff. Hopefully we go out again soon. Gives a kiss to him on the cheek, and he does it. Give me a second here, people. Alright, sorry about that. But anyway, what's the word? Oh yeah, Issei does, feel happy that, things aren't too bad because, he has to go through a constant agonizing fear because he's not actually strong. Now, why was he strong in the beginning? Like, how did he get so strong while fighting that drunk dude? Well, it wasn't that he was strong, it was the fact that he just dodged every attack. But when he tackled him, it was just the fear of losing somebody that he cares about. So he pretty much did that split second. His body reacting to it, kind of like how he did that for Ravel. But he doesn't remember that. That's why it's kind of a sad thing to realize when you don't remember that something that important, and yet you have to just endure the fact that you don't know why it's there, or why you have that faint little memory of that. But that's besides the point here, people. He meets Cal Renner. You know, the girl with the blue hair and the mini skirt. That girl, one of the fallen angels. She comes to him and tells him that she's gonna kill him because Rainier was kind of like a bumbling idiot in what she said. She called him a bumbling idiot because of how she tried to explain this whole situation, and basically grabs Issei and picks him up and drops him. Literally picks him up around 50 feet in the air. And if that's not high enough, think of it as two... Let's see, think of it as two... what's the word? Cargo boxes. If you don't know what a cargo box is, it's like a rectangular metal cube. It's rectangular, it's metal, it's 3D. That's what they use in cargo ships. Think of two of those stacked, one on top of the other. He fell from that distance. If not, just use your imagination to how far somebody can actually take a fall until they break their bone, until they break a bone or two. Issei basically having this spasms where he's like in fear, but he feels the pain, but he's so scared that he can't feel it afterwards. But then he realizes what had happened, and it kind of is like a little mini cycle right there. And this one, Cal Redder says, "I do not know why or how you got her to not kill you, but I am not as lenient as her." So, well, I guess I'm not as lenient as her then. Basically grabbing Issei and kicking her with her foot. So, this is when... Alright, sorry about that. This is when Issei looks at her and says, "Why are you doing this?" Shaking in fear. Trembling to what she looks like. She looks very attractive. Had the situation not been this, but right now all he sees is a cruel woman. But that's not what catches him off guard. It's the fact that her wings are black. Black like that one person who did something. But Issei is calming down. And give me a second here, people. Alright, so anyway, what had happened was Issei is, well, on the ground, and Cal Renner's basically beating down on him, teaching, quote unquote, teaching him, how to respect, and how dare he do that to Rainier when Rainier has been just a cold heart, like had like a cold heart. She would basically do it for fun, playing around with people. But this one here, he's not like basically saying that this is like a stain on like the name of fallen angels, how they were so, how one of their strongest, one, not one of their strongest, but at least somebody strong enough and what's the word, experience with doing these when doing this kind of trickery to humans. How dare he do basically like put a smudge on that. This has to be corrected, in her words. And this is when Issei sees her punching him in the stomach, causing his ribs or one of his ribs to crack, causing him to remember one of those things that happened to him. But it's almost as if it's kind of clearer. But this is when Issei basically just gets hit, and after that, reeling back, Issei, for some unknown reason, just goes straight forward towards Calrenner, and not even noticing what he did, sees that she is on one of her a knee, basically grabbing her head, and basically having blood on it. Oh yeah, quick side note. Yesterday I went to the movies and we saw Uncharted. It was freaking awesome. I'm kind of glad that they put Tom Holland on that. They kind of let's just say that not all the trailers were freaking on point, but either way, it was a good movie. But anyway, back to this. Now, Issei sees what happens to her, and she gets upset, basically grabbing him and throwing him. But before she even noticed this, Issei grabs her legs, causing her to basically fall too. She threw him, causing Issei to fall about a good, good 50 to 60 miles. Once grabbing Calrenner's legs, she notices this, and instead of trying to like, how dare you, she notices she's gonna also fall too, so she's gotta like push her, stop herself as fast as she can. And luckily she did. Issei actually just was like 2 feet off the ground. After that, he was like, "Oh, I thought I was gonna die." Issei getting slammed in the head with a piece of her high heel. Calrenner's heel, basically getting slammed with the foot, getting hit by her foot, and Issei is basically almost limp, but quote unquote miraculously, Issei gets up and sees what had happened, and this is when Issei says he's about to die. And he really wishes that there was somebody out there who can protect him. But as that was about to happen, instead of holy spears, it's holy swords just shooting out, causing them to actually hit Calrenner in her leg and in one of her wings, causing her to have to put pressure on it, causing her to now fly away, saying, "I'll get you for this." He sees that she's gone, and he was like, "Today's just getting weirder and weirder. Hopefully she's alive. Hopefully I get to see the other day. If I don't, I don't want to wake up. It's too much pressure on me." But as soon as he's about to, go down, or is it go down? Yeah, I think As soon as he's about to lose consciousness, he sees basically somebody running towards him saying, "Issei, Issei, don't worry, I got this all under control." And this is when he says, "Who is that? Wait, Gabby, is that you?" As he says, "I'm not Gabby. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of you." And the last thing he sees besides her was white. Instead of black wings, he sees golden wings that are beautiful. They're made out of light. It almost looked like it was made out of light itself. So bright. But anyway, Issei wakes up the next day with basically scars on his body. Give me a second here, people. Alright. So, when Issei wakes up, he finds out that he has a lot of scars on him. And the voice audio kind of cut again, so yeah. Not my time. But anyway, Issei does have scars on him, and he realizes that he does have the bruising, but it's pretty much like a black color. Like, it's purple, dark purple. And not only that, his shoulders, the places that he got stabbed in, like he got stabbed in the stomach, the chest, and and one of his shoulders. So his chest, and his stomach are look much more better. It looks like it's been, for some reason, healed at a fast rate, to where it looks pretty much like black little cracks on his skin. And no, it's not his insignia signs or his birthmarks, but it's actually just him having them, heal at a fast rate, to where they're not actually healed up properly. And his arm and his shoulder looks like it has, basically, think of like a weird spider web, but just only the big sides of the spider webs, like the main strings on the spider webs, and then kind of curve it a little bit, give it a little bit of freaking cracks and crevices, and make it look like looks like electricity was on there, and looks all static. Looks all like, it looks like what electricity will look like. It's just like moving around in different spots, and basically have the part of the main part that was actually stabbed through, make it look like it has like a little crater, like a tiny crater right there. That's how his scars will look like. So it's kind of hideous, and Issei's basically crying because he thought he was dead, and he realized what happened, but he doesn't know what had happened in the end. How did he survive? So when Issei when he walks around in school, Issei's just doing what he has to do, go to school. But he can't even go to school as fast as he can, or as much as he could in the beginning, because, how he is. And this is also when he gets bullied a bit. You see, the thing about him getting bullied, and when he's also, alone, when there's no girls around to actually bully him, the girls like Issei. The girls do like him. They see him as not as somebody who, like a white knight to protect them. He's just somebody who speaks up for them, and not only that, tries to make peace with both sides. But one side doesn't like it. The other side doesn't like it too, but they're trying to reap the benefits. So they're not really gonna get upset about this. So he does get pushed around. He even gets punched in the gut, which causes him to have little spasms in his body, causing him to cough up blood from time to time. Now,
a week has gone by to where he's just having the blood splats. And not only that, he still has his scars, but he has healed up over time. But he's not 100%. He's more like 70 to 80% out of 0. So that's a major recovery in 1 week. And probably two to three, four, probably, I'll give it 4 days later, he would actually be healed. But right now, he's not. But that's just a hypothesis right there. Now, Issei, after that, he goes, and the girls are gonna be all happy and stuff once they see, well, Kiba and Tsubaki, not Kiba and Tsubaki, they see Akano and Tsubaki asking Issei if they can come with him, if he can come with them, and Issei says, "Oh, right now I'm in a lot of pain, so maybe we could do this some other time." And they kind of insisted it a little bit more. And this is when Issei was like, "You know what? There's no problem. There's no harm. I just really have to go to work soon." And this is when, well, Issei, Akuno, and Tsubaki go, and they basically ask him some questions like, how is he? How was his day? Minor stuff, but then this is when Tsubaki looks at him and sees what's so special about him. Because Sona is trying to recruit him after feeling that power, and they realize that this power possibly came from this kid. Because he's the only one that's different from all of them. And not only that, they sensed that light energy off of him, meaning that he has probably fought, or at least was with, or at one point battled against the Fallen. Now, when he does make it into the OC Occult Research Club. No, the Occult Research Club, the ORC, or the ORC. Yeah. Sorry. Now, when they actually meet him, they're first, greeting him. But then this is when interrogation comes. They explain who they are, and Issei bows towards them, and says, "Hello, my name is Issei." And not only that, this is when, Ria says, "Who are you and what are you doing in basically, Cool Town?" Issei says, "What do you mean?" This is when Ria explains to her, like, "You don't have to lie. We want to know what faction you're in, because you converse with a fallen angel, and not only that, we also have a sense of angel, like an actual angel. A fallen and a regular angel." So this is when Issei says, "Wait a minute, what are you talking about?" Now, they actually don't know what had happened. They just knew something had happened, because Konako was supposed to just leave after the fallen angel met with her, but Issei didn't know about it until a couple of days later. That's when he met Calrenner. She says to Issei that something was supposed to happen that time, and for some unknown reason, you lived. Now, do you have any power or any bloodline? And we want you to be honest with us. Well, this is when Issei's just like scared, saying he doesn't have a power, nor does he have like a bloodline. All he knows is that he was just born, and his parents, he had parents at one point, but he doesn't remember them too much. He doesn't even know who his parents are. But he knows he knew that he was born, and he knew he had a family at one certain point, but that's just it. If I was to say anything, he knew at one certain point that he had parents, but That moment, after that, just nothing. It's just a complete blank slate. Pure white, nothing right there, just absolutely in the dark. Which is kind of two-faced, or not two-faced, kind of, defeats the whole purpose saying a white blank slate, and then after that, it's as dark, it's just a black void. Oh gosh, I kind of had to stop doing that. But anyway, so this is when Issei decides to, tell her he doesn't understand this, and hopefully she understands what Issei means, and if he could just leave. Sorry, but, I'm getting a little too tired here, but he tells her that I have work to go to, and this is when he tries to open the door, but he can't. They say that we can't just let you leave until you answer us. And Issei says, I don't know what you want. I already answered all you. I gave you my answer. Now that I gave you my answer, I just want to leave. They say that we still need to find information off of you. Whether you want to or not, we can't just let you leave. After that, we will just remove your memories. And Issei is kind of scared. He doesn't know why, but he feels like he's just been trapped. Like an animal again. This is when Issei says that he can't just do that. They can't just do that to him. Why do they decide what they can or cannot do with him? They can't do anything to him because that's not right. And they say that they're sorry, but they can't just let that, they just can't let what he is, or whatever happened, be kept in secret. Let's see, they have to know, basically. They need this information. And Issei basically said, I can't allow you to just do that. And just runs towards them. Kiba was supposed to grab him. But Issei basically jumps up in the air. Actually dodging, Konoko grabbing him. Then the rest of the pawns that were in Tsubaki's group tried to strangle him or grab him. But this is when Issei basically pushed farther and basically just ran out. And just, he jumped through the windows, causing him to fall and actually get stabs on him and cuts and stab markings on him. Now, this is when he says, I have to go. I have to run. And this is when Rhea says, we can't just let him escape. We have to send the whole team in. Basically, having all the pawns and all them just run towards them, but not fly, unless it's deemed necessary or unless he just gotten away too fast. Issei is just running, and he's running and running, and that fear that he has within him is somewhat just channeling into this need to live and this anger of why does he always have to, sorry about that. Why is he scared? Why is he the one getting, told what to do? He doesn't want to be he doesn't want her, or he doesn't want any of them to tell him what to do. He doesn't want any of them to, attack him. He doesn't understand why or what had happened. Why are these things happening to him? But everybody else gets to just do what they want. But this is when he says this is not what he wants. And he will not play by their rules. He has his own set of rules in life. He has to do this. And this is when he sees all their faces in his head, and he feels kind of down. But after that, he just has to, just go to work. All right, here, give me a second here, people.
All right. Sorry about that. Now that I'm back, this is what happens. He goes to work, and while going at work, he actually meets Gabby, and Gabby actually didn't see him for the whole week. For the 5 days. If I said he did, if he did, he actually didn't. He was just only there for the pay, to at least get his check, and Gabby wasn't there at that time. So, yeah. So Deku, not fudge. So Issei tells Gabby that he feels a little bit more better, and she says, "Oh wow, I don't know how, but did you get into a car accident?" She basically tells her, you know, she basically tells him that I'm glad that you're okay, and I am so happy for you, Issei. Looking at her and saying, I'm so glad too, accidentally just walking up to her and just giving her a big old hug, causing, what's her face? I just said Gabby to blush a lot. Now, Issei said, hopefully we can work in peace and nothing bad will happen. And at the nighttime, after they're all done, Issei actually has a small bag of treats. And this is when he says he's gonna have to go. If they can close up the shop now, since he's already all finished up and he's helped out the other people with their stuff. And Gabby says, all right. This is when Issei starts running, and this is where he meets Kiba. This is when Issei just stops and says, Kiba, what are you doing here? And he says, I'm sorry, Issei, but we have to take you back. I understand that you're not going to like it, but but we still have to take you. And Issei says, I don't know what happened. Why are you guys trying to do this to me? I never done nothing wrong to you. And this is when Kiba says, I understand that. You haven't done anything bad to us. I can give you that much. I'll give you the fact that we don't know who you are, but we know that you're not a bad person to others. You helped out other people before in the past. We've heard about you before. We also heard that you got bullied over the times. And Issei says, so why didn't you stop them? And this is when he says, we have, but, there's always going to be people out there that we can't stop all the time. Issei says, I understand. And this is when Konoko's behind him. And this is when Issei basically sees her and says, please don't hurt me. And this is when he says, this is when she says, is that chocolate? And he says, oh, yeah. This is when he kneels down to her and says, do you want some? And she says, I will be preoccupied the whole time if you just give me the chocolate. And this is when he says, all right, you can have it. And this is when he pats her on the head. Issei looking up and seeing that there's the other people. There's Tsubaki and the two rooks. Not only that, there's the two pawns. No, not the pawn. There's all the pawns. There's pretty much most of the chess pieces besides 2 or 3. And this is when Kiba and the others says, we have to still take you. This is when Konoko says, sorry, but he gave me chocolates. There's no way I'm going to, break my promise after what I've gotten. And this is when she sees that they're not just regular chocolates, but they're real good, like the good ones. Like these are like kind of premium-ish because they actually work at a candy store, and sometimes they get the real good stuff from different kinds of countries. So the one she's got right now, they're gonna basically be like, sorry about that. Ah boy. Anyway, the ones she's gotten are the ones that are really good. So Issei goes, all right, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but I really do not want this to end in violence, but I'm not going to let you take me. This is when Kiba says, I'm sorry. And this is when he basically says that you guys can take him. I'm not going to do it either. and this is when runs off to the distance, and the this is when Tsubaki and the rest of the peerage basically try to go grab Issei, but this is when they see a spear of reddish, like reddish pinkish lights just hitting the ground, causing an explosion, but Issei to fall backwards, causing him to roll a couple of times. And this is when the rest of the peerage actually gets stunned, and a couple of them got injured. This is when they see Rainier. Rainier saying, "I will not allow you to touch him." And this is when he says, "Wait, Yuna? You're one of those people with black wings too?" And this is when she says, "Yeah. Sorry, Issei, hopefully you don't hate me." And Issei says, "Well, since you're technically still my girlfriend, I can't hate you, can I?" This is when she says, "Really? I'm flattered." But this is when she says, "Enough of that, Issei. I have to get serious here. What are all these devils doing?" And this is when they're saying, "Wait, so he knows a fallen angel?" And not only that, it's that one fallen angel that is closer to Azazel. This is when another one just shows up, shooting out a couple of light swords, and this is when they see somebody with a freaking, well, the same kind of outfit as Issei is wearing right now, minus the aprons, and yeah, this is when they see freaking, what's her face? Sheesh, I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, this is when they see Gabby, or as many people will know her as, Gabriel. And this one, Gabriel isn't this high-powered person. She's actually more of an introvert, and actually somebody who is strong, but not like Michael strong. So yeah, she was kind of born after the whole God's death thing. Gotta just change a few things in history. But other than that, this is when the three are there, and they say, "Issei, are you okay? Have they done anything to you?" And this is when she sees the other two, and the other two factions, and she says, "What are you doing to him? Leave him alone, or I will deal with you myself." And this is when Rainier says, "Shut it, Blondie. It's you guys that are trying to hurt him." This is when the devils are like, "Hey, we're just trying to extract some memory over here." That just nonchalantly saying that, and saying that this is devil territory. So the fact that you're actually trying to, that the two of you are both here, says a lot. Says that you guys are trying to break trying to break a fight over here. This is when Issei sees what's gonna happen, and it's basically a three-way, deadlock. And this is when they're getting all intense, and Issei is scared of this, but this is when one of them is charging. Well, one of them is charging towards Gabriel, while the other one's charging for Rainier, and they're both going to defend themselves and attack. This is when Tsubaki tells those two, "Don't do it." Seeing that Tsubaki genuinely cares about them, Issei notices that he feels angry. Something that he doesn't feel often. But the moment he felt it, he started to feel something within his body go. And this is when his chest starts to glow.
and have this weird circular thing that has, I forgot what this thing is, what it's called, but it shows different insignias, like different ancient insignias from back then. And this is when he starts feeling this surge of power. And he just says, all of you stop. And he's like, don't hurt her. Don't hurt them. And it's like, I'm telling you to stop right now. And this is when basically what Rainier saw during her time with Issei, that dense amount of power that felt like it was oozing out of him and just like slowly like going across the floor. It's happening right now, but in higher magnitude. And this is when Issei is just looking at all of them, telling them to stop. And this is when basically Gabriel, Rainier, and Tsubaki's group, and Rias's group look straight at him with a shocked face. Issei is just somewhat getting like this headache, and after that, he actually ends up passing out again. And this is when he gets up, and actually he's in the ORC with basically Gabriel and Rainier and the two devil princesses, and not only that, with the rest of the peerages. Oh yeah, Sir Zex is there too, and Lady, what's your face? Lady Seraphol, and not only that, Michael's there. Oh, and let's not forget freaking Azazel. Oh, let's not also forget Volley's there too, and another person who I decided to put in there. It's gonna be what is that? Saji. Saji's actually going to be the Black Dragon Emperor and the Red Dragon Emperor. This is when Issei is just like all confused. Give me a moment here, people, because I gotta attend to my freaking nephew's needs.
Alright, so after Issei and basically all of them, besides all, before I go there, my little brother needed milk, and my sister was in the restroom, so I had to stay for him with a while. So if I feel a little stressed out right now, because yeah, helping a crying baby does take a lot out of you. Oh gosh, it's suffering at times. Anyway, I feel like this guy right now in agony. Anyway, so while Issei was there, he meets he basically sees the three high-ranking officials in the three high-ranking people in in all three factions. Not only that, the Seraphols, Gabriel and freaking Michael, Sir Zex, and like I said before, Volley and Saji. Saji is actually going to be the Black Dragon Emperor and the Red Dragon Emperor, like I said before. That's the only difference between him and, well, basically that. At first, I did think about giving this to Issei, but at the same time, he fought all three freaking powerhouses. He fought all three factions. Well, he fought three factions and their armies, and the dragons. Combined forces. Do you really think that Issei needs any more power? Do you think that he would be kind of offended if he took power like that for no reason at all? Oh no, Issei has this power and this power only. So, But sorry about that. Now Issei goes and he basically talks to Zer's ex, Michael, and well, he talks to freaking uh, there's Azazel. They talk for a long time, for basically a 2 hour straight. They explain everything to him and how they are so sorry. They will not. They repeat. They will not do any. They will basically stay away. Well, they will aid him whenever he needs to be aided, and they will make sure not to freaking impose or question what he says. Like, these people are basically saying that this guy right here is so much of a threat. Right now, if they're at right now half of capacity at this war, they're basically saying that they would rather have peace with him. They would want to make peace. And this is when Issei heard about the stories about the factions all being like fighting, but he never thought those were real. And he says anything that they want, these three will do it at this very moment. And what Issei says is gonna be shocking, but he says to them, all three of you make peace right now. And this is when they're all like, wait, what? He says, make peace right now. Live coexistently. All three of you guys basically gave me your word that you will do anything that I say one time. Basically giving me a free pass to tell you what I want. And all three of you have to do it. Not only that, to the utmost limits of your, to as much as you can possibly give. Which means you can technically make peace with all of the all. You can all three make peace. I don't actually have to do a thing. And this is when they're like, we're sorry, but we can't actually do that. That part, at least, that part only, they cannot make peace because of other people. And even if they wanted them to be killed, it will basically be most of them than all of them. Because all of them do not like this idea because they have their own pride and they do not like each other because of their own beliefs. Issei said, well, that was a fair shot. Well, that was at least a good shot. So he tells them, all right, I got one better. Make me, turn me into a servant of both of their factions. And he says, wait, what are you talking about? And this is when they're all like, this is for Zerzex. This is for Zerzex. Make me either a pawn or give me some key. Give me a king. Give me a king piece, because I'm going to be now top dog here. And this is when Issei is thinking to himself, what am I saying? I'm so scared I'm gonna die. Issei is actually just, he feels like he's gonna crap his pants because he still doesn't understand what had happened. All he knew is that he basically got upset. And he's just like, I'm sorry. I don't want to die. I gotta play the part of a strong person. He has the kind of mentality of Gasper. Now that I think about it, he kind of has that mentality, but he's not a femboy. Alright. So, they're all like, I can do that. I can do that. Alright, and he says, you two. And they basically point at Rainier. And, well, Gabriel. They ask him what? They ask him, what is it? You both are going to be
my servants, no exceptions. And this shocks basically Michael, but remains composed. And Zazel's like, "Oh wow, I didn't know you would do that." This is when this is when Azazel and Michael are like, "All right, we'll give it to you." And they're like, "Well, I guess those are his three wishes." And Issei says, "Oh, those weren't my wishes." And this is when they're like, "Wait, what? We just gave you our own. We gave you our freaking. We let you, have them." And this is when Michael would have been protective of her and said, "No, I will not allow you to do that. Whether you're a threat to this whole world or so-called quote unquote threat to the world or not, I will not let you do that." But this is when he realizes that this girl talks about him on a day-to-day basis. There is no way that he could actually do something harmful to her because he cares about her. He truly cares about Gabriel and thinks of her as someone to be cautious with. But with Issei, it's basically the same thing. And this is when, this is because he knows that Issei deep down is possibly just a really good person, but people saw a bad part of him at that moment. This is when they say, "Oh, so we just gave you a freebie within a freebie." This is when Issei says, "No, no, no. I actually want you to give me, well, I need some status with the two factions here. Basically, give me all the information I can understand." Says that to Azazel, and Azazel's like, "Oh yeah, you got a deal, kid. That's it. And that's what you really wanted. You know what? I could have just given you that for free." And this is when he says, "Michael, I want to talk to God." And this is when he's like, "Oh boy, I can't do this either. Oh boy, you know what? I'll explain to him." And basically he explains the death of God right in front of all of them. Oh yeah, Asia's in there too, because Asia, the whole thing happens, but this is when Issei actually meets her for a while. He's actually kind to her and nice to her, like it was in the beginning. It just so happened to be that Asia was there at the wrong place at the wrong time. Asia was told by Issei that he cares about her a lot, so he will protect her. So basically what I'm trying to say is Rias, Akino, Konako, Ravel, Gabriel, Rainier, oh yeah, Sona, Tsubaki, and probably many more. He's gonna be a harem king for sure. Like, this is the guy that basically waged war on 3 factions and on 2 holy dragons. There is no way this guy is not going to have a harem. And so that had happened. Now, Issei does tell them that he's going to protect all of them. He will at least be someone to aid at their side. And they're thinking to themselves, well, if anybody thinks about fighting you, like, we understand there's people on our side that are going to fight you, and we will try our best abilities to stop them. But if they fight you, we really can't do anything about that. Besides, you can do whatever you want to them. But within certain means, we can't just let you kill them, but we will stop them to the best of our abilities. Issei says thank you. And he asks Gabriel a question. Gabriel, are we going to go to work tomorrow? And she says, wait, what do you mean? And Issei says, well, you still need to teach me a lot more stuff. I actually want to learn more about being, a manager one day, or at least be your assistant manager. And this is when, basically Michael says, "Oh wow, looks like somebody actually wants to marry you." And this is when Gabriel says, "Michael," and this is when Issei has to start off a journey to where he's gonna have to be fighting some pretty high gods up there. Stronger, we'll just say that they're stronger than other gods. There's strong gods out there. And Issei is actually going to have a fight with a certain Phoenix. And, the reunion will be fun. But besides all that, people, I gotta do my own things, and I gotta take care of the baby still. So hopefully you liked it. I did say like, comment, and do subscribe to the channel here, so I won't say it now. But this has been the Fallout What If here. And if you did like it, make sure to comment down below about which god do you think I should fight first. Yeah. Just make sure, just comment down below which god you want me to fight, because it's gonna lead up to the big fight between infinite dragons. Alright, people? So anyway, this has been the Fallout What If you're here. Bye.